But my biggest surprise is going to be Bubba Bolden. I knew he was a good player. I knew he was going to make an impact, but he's really taken it to the next level, and he looks like a high NFL draft pick, round 1, round 2 type talent. And when he's on the field, you see the difference in how the defense performs. He's got the attitude. He's a leader. He's the rah-rah type guy too. You saw him, the bloody face last week against Clemson, trying to get them back into the game. But I think he's been the biggest surprise, at least in my eyes, for this team.
Yeah, when I look at Bubba Bolden, I really love this kid, and not because the bloody face thing, that's cool. But what I really like about it is, he backs that up on the field. He literally lays his body out there. And just today, I recorded a play where Jalen Phillips swings the guy 15 yards. Bubba Bolden doesn't quit on the play, and Bubba Bolden's actually the guy who ends up knocking the guy out of bounds. And I mean, when he hit him, he really hit this guy, gets up talking in his face. And that's the type of player that I like. If you're going to talk it, you got to be able to back it up. And I think Bubba Bolden does both of that. So here's my question. Why wasn't Bubba Bolden starting today?
That's a great question. Only Blake Baker can answer that one. I don't know if he was banged up or something happened pregame. But there's no logical reason for Bubba Bolden to not be on the field starting. I tweeted this last week after Clemson, or maybe before Clemson. But Bubba Bolden is one of the few guys on our roster, on defense at least, that you never.
Hold up. If you're not signed up with the Patreon squad, aka the Kane Gang, then what are you doing? Get signed up right now. Link in the description and in the pinned comments. And for less than a cup of coffee, you can get the extra content, the exclusive content, the ad-free content, the early access content, the film breakdowns that I can't put on YouTube because YouTube will strike your boy down. Hey, we turning up on the Patreon squad, the Kane Gang. Get over there right now. Link in the description. And if you're already a member of the Kane Gang, I appreciate you. Enjoy the rest of this content. I'm moving my hands, a lot of hand movement.
Come off the field unless he's tired. He shouldn't be rotated in or out just based on play count or anything like that. He's tired, pull him out, but he should not be coming off the field for any reason.
What do you think our best safety combination is?
Bolden and Hall. Amari Carter is who he is. He's kind of that box safety. He should actually probably play in that striker role. But, when Bubba Bolden is out there, our safeties take the next step. And I think Gervin Hall can run a little bit. He's a little looser than, Amari Carter is. But I think those two is our, best duo at this point.
As somebody who's a part of the fan base, do you think it's right for us fans to ask that question? To me, that's the first question. If I'm one of these guys that has the media access, is why, to me, that's inexcusable. Unless he skipped practice, unless he's getting punished, which there's been no mention of, how do you not put him on the field?
No, that's certainly a question that has to be asked. It's the reporter's job to find out what the fans want to know. And, we as fans want to know that. Why isn't our best safety on the field? He's one of the top 2 or 3 defensive players, depending on how you want to rank him. But why isn't he starting? Something doesn't seem right with that. He hasn't performed poorly at all. He's been one of our best players. So hopefully someone asks that, and we get a straight answer from the coaches instead of just coach speak.
So you look at this game, and this is something that I've noticed ever since Manny Diaz has been the coach. And, maybe I don't remember it, but it seems like once Blake Baker got in at defensive coordinator, and I'm not trying to blame him, but, that's why I love to ask these questions, because I may be wrong. But in my opinion, and you tell me if I'm crazy or not, I think our linebackers and our safeties, I believe they rotate too much. I believe there's a difference between Bubba Bolden's tired or Bubba Bolden needs to be talked to, rather than, okay, Bubba Bolden, you get a series, then Amari Carter gets a series. All right, Bradley Jennings, you get a series. All right, Sam Brooks gets a series. To me, I feel like that hurts the camaraderie of our defense when, a player can do good. I use this example versus Clemson. Sam Brooks makes 2 back-to-back plays. He gets rotated out. Bill, I'm asking you, do you know what are the pros and cons of how we rotate players, and do you think we're rotating them in too much?
Yes, I think we're rotating them too much. I agree with everything you said. I've been saying this for a little while. Even before Baker got here and Diaz was the defensive coordinator, we were always a heavy rotation type team. The pros to that is, you keep everyone fresh. You kind of find out who has the hot hand, I guess you could say, and then you can roll with them later. But it just seems like we're just rotating for the sake of rotating. Another pro, which I was actually thinking of the other day, is, all these guys are getting playing time. It keeps them happy. Maybe it stops people from transferring. But at the end of the day, this isn't, rec league football or basketball, whatever, where everyone gets to play and everyone, gets a trophy at the end of the year. We're here to win, and you need to figure out who the best players are, and they need to be playing, the majority of those snaps. Now, if we have a situation where, there wasn't a huge difference in talent or production from Bubba Bolden and, Amari Carter, say, then yeah, you can rotate them and it's probably not that big of a deal. But when there is that obvious talent gap, or when, those players aren't getting it done and making mistakes, you got to go with the guy that's playing better and it's going to give you the best chance to win. Especially at linebacker, Corey Flagg and Sam Brooks have been outperforming, the 2 upperclassmen, the last couple of weeks. They should be the ones starting. Let them, get their shot. If they, they continue playing well, they've earned it. And that's the end of it. If they make the same mistakes that, McLeod and Jennings are making, then yeah, you can go back to those guys if you want. But, when players are earning it on the field, they have to be rewarded with either more snaps or, even those starting spots.
All right, guys. We got Bills from K's Legacy and K's Insight. For all their information, the link will be in the description. Make sure you check that out, guys. So we're going to stick with the defense, and then we'll talk about the offense. But defensively, Joey Yellen, true freshman quarterback, he comes in because Kenny Pickett can't go. So we go up against Joey Yellen. I hope I said his name right. I apologize if I didn't. But he goes 22 of 46. 227 yards, 1 touchdown. What are your thoughts on the defensive play today? And let's do a Baker check. Is he on the hot seat?
No.
According to you, if it was up to you, would he be on the hot seat?
No, not for today. We gave up 19 points, which is great, in today's era of college football. 10 of those points were off of turnovers. 1 interception was returned down to the 1, and they scored a touchdown on the next play. So realistically, they held Pitt to, what was that, 9 points. They bent. This is kind of Blake Baker's thing, bend but don't break. We held them to field goals. That's great. We got one turnover. Quincy Roche took the ball right out of the quarterback's hands on a sack. It wasn't perfect by any means.